Welcome to One Girl in All the World, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer rewatch podcast where we recap each episode in order and discuss. I'm Ashley, Buffy superfan.
I'm Kimmy, Buffy newbie.
You can find us on all major podcast apps, YouTube, and Instagram with new episodes on Tuesdays. So, dun dun dun, it has begun. The end.
The end.
Is nigh.
The beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end, becoming part one.
Yeah.
Pretty intense episode. Also ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh, so the question from last week. Woo woo.
Yeah, yes. Good job. I had to remember. I was like, what was it?
I was like, that was a far-fetched guess, too. I was like, who could it be? I don't know. It could be anybody.
No, you did good. I'm excited for your answer for this week's question.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, but we have to wait a little bit to get to that. So, Becoming Part 1 originally aired on May 12th, 1998, written and directed by Joss Whedon, which you will, he's the creator, and obviously he comes back for, the important episodes and stuff. The synopsis is, a web of conspiracy, suspense, and heartbreak surround the second season finale of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy determines the time has come to destroy Angel and must ascertain if she is ready to sacrifice all she knows to be true to do so. But her decision is further entangled when Willow uncovers the secret that may restore Buffy's former beloved. Elsewhere, Angel chooses to unearth an evil demon that could swallow the earth and all of the beings, rather than return to the arms of his former lover. That's an okay synopsis. Had better. Okay. So, we start out with a previously on. Obviously, it's a very important episode. A lot of things are starting to tie together and come together. So we need a bit of a previously on. We just get the whole...
We have Oz narrating?
Oh, does he say previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, wait, no. He starts narrating. Sorry, after the episode starts. Sorry, just kidding. Never mind. Continue.
That wasn't Oz.
Wasn't it?
The person doing the narration?
No, I thought it was Oz.
No.
Sounded like him. Okay,
I was
whatever.
like, because sometimes usually it's Giles that says previously on Buffy the Vampire.
Yes, exactly.
But I was like, oh, maybe it was Oz.
I thought it sounded like Oz this week. Okay, forget it. Never mind. I don't know my character voices.
But we get Oz.
Yes. Yeah, actually,
That's not
Oz
good.
he was good in this episode.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
So we get a previously on. Basically, we get the abridged version of the whole Angel Buffy storyline from the season. Jenny, and then the disc. Her having the curse and it being on a disc and falling in between the desk and the filing cabinet. Mm-hmm. So that's just been chilling there for a few episodes now. So we get a lot of backstory in this episode, which is exciting for you, I feel
because,
like.
I didn't
I'm excited
know
for you
about Angel, so this kind of filled in some things. Like the opening, for instance, is in, I wrote olden days because I missed whatever.
It's Galway, Ireland, 1753.
1753.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing he's drunk in this opening sequence?
Yeah. And Angel's human name is Liam.
Oh,
I don't think we find that out in this episode.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember when we find that out, but it is. That's his human name.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so Angel and a friend are drunk in a tavern and get kicked out. They seem to be kind of just Neanderthal type of guys.
Yeah, they're gross.
Not great. And he sees Darla. So Darla's back.
Oh, yeah.
In a flashback, anyway.
Yep. And he offers to keep her company, so gentlemanly of him.
Yeah, he's trying to get his leg over. So, but yeah, he's like, ooh, I like her and her cleavage. And yeah, so he's gonna walk her. But little does he know that he's the prey, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and she even says, I wonder if you're up to the challenge.
Yeah, she can handle him for sure. Yeah, so he kind of says, show me your world. And she says, close your eyes, which is important because we will see that mirrored here soon. She says, close her eyes. Darla bites him. And then Angel drinks her boob blood over her ample cleavage. And he just sticks his face in there and drinks her blood.
And he doesn't even scream or anything. Or
yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes it seems
more lustful taking over than frightening or painful or
So this is, if you are being sired, that this is the first time we see somebody be sired.
I guess that's
people get sired, but we don't see them be sired. This is the first time we've seen somebody be sired. So yeah, you have to drink each other's blood.
Okay.
And then we go to Sunnydale, 1998, so current day in their timeline. Angel is watching Buffy fight a vampire, and she tells the vampire to send Angel a message that she's done waiting and that she basically wants this to be over. She's ready to like fight him, the final battle. And she ends up having to stake him, so she's like, okay, never mind. But, we're getting to the head here. She's done of messing around with him.
And Xander's there with her, and he comes there, and he's like, oh, 5 vamps and 3 nights.
Yeah, so he's hanging out with her, trying to just have another person there in case Angel shows up. Yeah. And they are also complaining about finals. So finals are coming up at the end of the school year. Yeah, a lot of stress there. And we go to the credits. And I put archaeology lab ? But it's the museum. We find out.
Okay, yeah. I put museum ?
Yeah, we put later we find out it's the museum. So there was a team working on a big, like, rectangular box.
Yeah.
So as we have, basically that's all we know. But now we can see. Yeah. Giles is actually called in by the curator as an expert on ancient artifacts.
Obscure relics?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're probably right.
Obscure relics. I was like, ooh, that's so fancy.
Yeah. So what a coincidence that the expert that was referred to this guy is in Sunnydale. So
it is, yeah. And also that like this museum curator seems very aloof and
he's like, I just started yesterday. Like they just gave me the keys.
So weird.
Yeah. So Giles inspects this huge block. It's towering over them, like it's really big.
Yeah.
And basically Giles takes a sample and then notices, he's like, oh, have you tried to open it? And like the team didn't realize that there was like a line.
Yep.
So obviously there's something inside and they didn't realize that. They thought it was just
a weird
solid.
Yeah, solid box.
And they said they had it carbon dated, but they wouldn't find out for a few days. So that process was ongoing. And there's text on the side, and Giles is going to try to translate the text.
Yeah, he wants to try and translate it before opening the box.
Yeah, so he says, like, let's not open it. Yeah. Because Giles knows that never ends well.
And then, like, the guy says, oh, you don't want to be surprised? And Giles is like, as a rule, no.
Yeah. The surprises are never good. They come out of these ancient boxes. Never happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we go to the cafeteria, and Xander is reenacting Buffy's fight with fish sticks.
Playing with his food,
and he's like, you tell Angel, you sent Angel a message for me. You tell him I'm done waiting. And he's like, the 2 fish sticks are fighting with each other, and she stakes the fish stick. So he has one of the Buffy fish stick stab the vampire fish stick. And so Oz is there, and Willow is sitting on his lap.
Yeah. It's interesting how much they progress when we haven't seen him.
Yeah, off screen. Things have been getting serious.
So. Hot and heavy.
Yeah, the last time we saw them, they had just had their first kiss.
Yeah.
Now they're sitting on top of each other in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So Willow is going to help Buffy study for finals because Buffy's really stressing about finals.
She's stressed. Yeah, she's ready to get rid of Angel, but like studies, nope.
Yeah, she's more confident that she can kill the guy she loves
than pass.
Yeah. So, Willow says she's going to commit to helping her study, and she's going to like get her through them and get her to pass.
Yep.
And Xander and Cordelia kind of squabble a bit.
That's cute though. It's cute little banter and flirting.
Yeah, it's more like flirting. Yeah. And then Principal Snyder comes in and yells at them because they're kind of getting touchy with each other. He's tickling her.
Is there a chair shortage?
Yeah, and Willow's like, I don't think so. Oh, and then she gets off. So, they've been caught out. And poor Buffy's like, I got nobody. Everyone is being called out for being too handsy, and I'm just here, the fifth wheel by myself. Yeah, all by herself. And then, Buffy said she needs to patrol tonight in case Angel shows up. And Xander says, do you think he will? She's like, no, but that's when he usually does.
Yeah.
So she just keeps putting herself out there because she wants this to be over.
She's hoping.
Yeah, she's hoping that he'll show up. And then we go to London, 1860.
Yeah, okay, so this is I didn't realize, this is like about 100 years later then.
Yeah. Yes. Give or take, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is where we learn Drusilla's backstory.
Yeah. So Drusilla is going into a church, and she's praying, and she goes into the confessional. And we see that the priest is, like, struggling inside. She doesn't notice. Mm-hmm. Or the priest is trying to get out. And, so she talks about having visions, that she had a premonition that there would be a cave-in at the mine, and then they should, like, 2 days later or something like that, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
and that her mother thinks that she should just ignore it and, like, you know, but she's really worried that she's wicked. She's obviously extremely religious.
She is very religious. She's very pure.
Yes. And is very worried that this means something bad. Like, she, like, is asking the priest, like, please tell her what to do. She doesn't want to be evil. And she thinks it has to be something bad, basically, of the devil.
Angel says she's a devil child and a Satan spawn.
So Angel is in the confessional. He's killed the priest. So he just pretends to be the priest and tells her, you know what, just give in. Just be evil. And she's like, oh, I don't want to do that, Father. Oh, no. And then he says, okay, just do some Hail Marys. And she's like, okay, thank you. So we go back to Sunnydale in 1998, and Drew, because we just saw her kind of meet Angel, Drew comes in from a walk.
She said an old man got stuck in her teeth. Oh, so gross.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
Poor
okay.
old man. And she's talking to Spike about that. And then Angel comes in, and we get the impression that Drew had a vision about the big rock.
Yep.
And that there's something inside. There's a prize inside. And then Angel says, oh, did you have a vision? And Spike's like, she read it in the morning paper. Like, it's front page on the Sunnydale Press.
That was really great, actually. No, you ninny.
No, you ninny. Yeah, so they read the article, and they say that at the museum there's an obelisk. That's what they're calling it. Mm-hmm. And that they are trying to figure out what it is. And Angel's immediately intrigued. And it seems to know what it is already by the picture.
He says soon it'll stop, soon it'll scream.
Yeah, because I think she says the world something. She says something about the world. He said soon it will stop, soon it will scream.
She did say something about the world.
Yeah, so he kind of already knows that this is a apocalyptic rock.
Yeah.
So he's excited. In Jenny's classroom, Willow is helping Buffy study, and Buffy's like really getting down on herself. It's kind of sad.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's just under a lot of stress, yeah.
Yeah, she is. But she's like, I'm a moron, and, you know, all this stuff. She's kind of sad. But Willow is like teacher mode. She's really enjoying all this teaching. So Buffy drops her pencil down in between the desk and the filing cabinet and picks it up, manages to get it out, and then says, like, oh, she had deja vu.
Mm-hmm. That was
like,
interesting.
Yeah, she's like, I remember it rolling off the desk, and she does it again, and it goes down there, and then she goes to get the pencil again, and then finds the disc, the floppy disk.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. And so she gives it to Willow. She's like, oh, you know, this is probably more of Jenny's stuff. They put it in the computer, and it immediately loads, and they realize it's the restoration spell that Jenny had been working on it. Mm-hmm. And then go to the Romanian Woods, 1898. Mm-hmm. And this is when Angel gets cursed.
Yeah, he's like running. He looks sick. And then, like, the spell's finishing, his eyes change, and he's in pain, and I kind of got the tail end of it. They talked fast, but everything you've done and everyone you've killed for 100 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he starts remembering everything.
Yeah, and they're kind of, like, doing the ritual or the spell, like, either over or during the girl that he killed is funeral or whatever. She's laid out in display or whatever, the girl that he killed. And they have the Orb of Thessala, and they perform the spell. And he says now Angel has a soul, and it will haunt him. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't really... It's weird, because it's like when it first happens, it's like he doesn't even know anything. But then, like, it takes a while for it all to, like, flood back to him. Because he said it will take... You'll remember. You know, it'll come to you.
Yeah. And he says, like, something about our daughter's face. And it's just like, oh, that's so
and
sad.
everyone else you've killed, yeah.
Yeah.
So in Sunnydale in 1998, we are in the library, and... Willow and Buffy give the curse to Giles. So I said that obviously Jenny was working on it. Mm-hmm. And Willow thinks she can try to do it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that all of Giles' knowledge, he's done spells before. And he says, oh, I don't think I would have the knowledge to do this. But Willow, who's like never done a spell before, thinks she can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. She said she's been researching.
Yeah, it seems a bit, really?
And then
Willow would be better at this.
Xander's not impressed with this. He's like, Angel's a killer. Are we just going to be all like, everything is forgiven? And
yeah,
Angel,
this gets pretty intense. Yeah, this gets pretty intense. They start fighting. Xander and Cordelia are on the side that, even though Xander is much more aggressive about it, that he thinks, forget about Angel's soul, he should be killed. Like, everything he's done. And Buffy is kind of she's torn, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
And where Giles falls on this, he says he thinks it seems to be Jenny's last wish.
Yeah, her
that Angel
wish.
that Angel gets his soul restored. So that's important to him.
And then Xander says, yeah, well, Jenny's dead.
Yeah, and they almost come to it. Like, Giles, like, comes up to him, and Buffy has to, like, get them apart.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone just starts yelling at each other. So the first time we've really seen them fight like this. This intensely.
Yeah.
All of them are at each other's throats.
Well, I think Willow asked Buffy what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And then she says she wants to forget Miss Calendar's death so she can get her boyfriend back. Oh, yeah, no, Xander says she wants to forget Miss Calendar's death so she can get her boyfriend back, and then Buffy and Willow look pissed.
Yeah. And then Buffy leaves.
Xander's kind of a jerk here, yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it. I get
his... That's the way to go about it, though.
No. He was way too, like, crazy about it. But I get his argument. You know? Like, I think if Ensouled Angel could talk to Buffy, he'd be like, kill me, what are you doing? Right? Like, don't let me kill anybody else.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what he would say. So yeah, there's a lot of different thoughts about what they should do going forward.
Yeah.
At the museum, the curators messing with the obelisk, and he hears some voices, like whispering, and then Angel and Drew show up and attack him. Drew bites him, and Angel says, "Hey, save me some." So, yeah, he's down for the count. In Buffy's bedroom, Buffy is talking to Willow on the phone, and Willow's really mad at Xander about his reaction to the spell.
Yeah. Buffy just doesn't know what to do. And then she sees her Clodagh ring. And then it gives her pause.
Yeah. So she's packing up for patrolling. And yeah, it was at the bottom of her drawer, the Clodagh ring. She obviously just put it away. She didn't want to see it. And comes across it. And... and then she just kind of like gets distracted and said that she's going to stop over Willow's later.
Yep.
So she's wrestling with this very much. So outside, Buffy's patrolling, and somebody jumps out of the bushes at her, and it's Kendra. Kendra's back. Because her watcher, a dark force is rising again in Sunnydale. So Kendra's been sent to help out. At the mansion, I love this, when they have so they've retrieved the big rock, and Spike says, wow, it's a big rock. I can't wait to tell my friends. They don't have a rock this big.
Yeah, that's really funny.
He's not impressed with this. As usual, with anything. He's really not impressed.
He's very deadpan, yeah.
Yeah, so he's really annoyed that this big rock is here. And Angel's... Go ahead.
Yeah. Angel's like, but it's Akatha, the demon that came forth to swallow the world?
He kind of just explained the history of Akatha to Spike, that he was, a demon sent to swallow the world, and a knight, killed him. And he turned to stone. And then they buried what was left of him. Or, the stone version of him. So they put him in that thing and then put him in the ground somewhere. It was outside of town. He was buried outside of Sunnydale. And that somebody worthy has to remove the sword, and then the world will end, and then he will swallow the world. So that's Angel's plan. In the library, Giles says that the curator / the artifact is missing. And that he obviously had the information from the outside case of Akatha's tomb. And so he finds out that it will create a vortex into a demon dimension. Because it's the human dimensions and the demon dimensions, they don't... Obviously, there are demons in our world, but they exist separately. And then this will create a vortex that will suck...
Like a whirlpool.
Yeah, everybody into hell, essentially.
Yep. Any non-demon will be sucked in and suffer eternal torment.
Yes. And Buffy says that they definitely should do the spell because she doesn't know if she can get to Angel in time. And also if she loses, that might be the only way to stop it. So Willow might be their only hope if Plan A doesn't go down the right way. And Kendra says that she brought a sword blessed by the knight that killed Akatha. So that could be useful. And she gives that weapon to Buffy.
Seems pretty handy.
Yeah. So Willow says she needs about a day to get the ritual ready. She needs an orb of Thessala, which, what do you know? Giles has
one. He's been using it as a paperweight.
Yeah, just like the person at the magic shop said. People use it as a paperweight usually. But she says, Giles says we do hopefully have some time because there is a ritual that Angel has to do to awaken Akatha. So they're just racing for time at this point.
Yeah.
Back at the mansion, Spike is pacing, standing up, walking around, and he hears Drew coming, and he quickly hides, gets back into the wheelchair. So he's hiding it not just from Angel, he's hiding it from both of them because I don't think he trusts either of them at this point. Drew says, "Okay, it's like the fun's gonna start, and they're gonna do the ritual." And there's some random guy that they've captured, I guess.
Yeah.
And Angel bites him and gets blood on his hand, and he approaches Akathla with the blood on his hand. And that's where we leave it for now. Then we go to Manhattan, 1996, and Angel is homeless.
He's looking rough.
Yeah, he's homeless, eating rats for food.
Trying to eat rats.
Yes, that's what he's living off of, rats when he can get them. So he's not thriving, put it that way. So this guy approaches him and knows who he is, knows what he is, and he says his name is Whistler. So Whistler is the one that narrates the episode.
Ah, okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, so Whistler says he's a demon, but he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, not all demons want to end the world, and some demons are good and want to help. And so he kind of says that Angel can become a good person instead of the stink guy. He's so funny. He kind of reminds me of Willie a little bit. Like his attitude is kind of Willie.
His demeanor,
yeah. Yeah, but he's like, you can really do some good. Like you can choose to be somebody and do something good with your life.
Yeah. Or
your undead life. He wants to show him something.
Yeah.
And then he can decide. So we go to LA, 1996, at Hemry, which is Buffy's school before Sunnydale.
She looks different.
Yeah, and she acting different and everything. Mm-hmm. So Angel drives up to this high school in a blacked out car. How did he drive there? I would love to know.
During the day.
But yeah, anyway, there's literally no way to see out of the car. So I don't know how he drove. But he sees Buffy come out of the school with some girlfriends, and she's long blonde hair. She's very ditzy and kind of like an airhead, that she's going to wait for some boy to beg her to go to the dance after his, some sports practice. But so Buffy comes out to wait for him, and she's sitting there by herself. And her first watcher, I think his name was Merrick, if I'm correct. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the actor that's supposed to be that version of Merrick. And he comes up, and this is when she's called. So we see her being called, and he says, he just doesn't beat around the bush, does he? He says, it's your destiny. You've been called. You're the only one that can stop the vampires. And she's like, what? Excuse me? She initially thinks he's security from a department store because she stole a lipstick.
Oh, yeah. That was funny. Yeah, that's cute. I like the next scene, though. They're in the graveyard, and she's fighting, and she stakes him, and she's like, oh, not the heart.
Yeah. She makes in the stomach. This is her first fight with a vampire. You could tell that she's very...
Oh, my God.
Doesn't know what to do. She's scared. She's just trying to get away from it. And she does, on the second try, gets the heart.
Yep.
And he does dust, and she's, very shocked. She can say she's, stunned by what she's seeing. And her watcher says, you see your strength. This is, your destiny.
Yep.
So Buffy comes home, and obviously it's late, and her parents are not happy that it's late, that she came home late. And she's just, reeling from just being called, and that vampires are real, and she just killed a vampire. And her family's mad. She says that she was talking to Tyler, who was the boy that obviously they have history, and that they were that she was going to wait to be asked to the dance by. And her mom Angel's watching this from outside her house, and she's saying I'm sorry. And then her mom's like, fine, let's just come downstairs. Dinner's ready. And Buffy is in her bathroom, reeling from. Crying, reeling from oh my God, my entire life has changed. And her parents, she can hear her parents fighting.
Yeah, she can, and her dad is mean.
Yeah, he's I have to do the ogre because you can't discipline her. And he's I don't like that boy. And so her, obviously, we meet her in the show. Her parents are already divorced. Yeah. But yeah, this is obviously, we see the signs of that marriage falling apart already.
Yeah.
So Angel finds Whistler again and says that he wants to help her. He wants to help Buffy. And Whistler says, it's going to be tough for her. She's just a kid. It's going to be really tough for her.
Yeah. Angel says he wants to help her. He wants to be someone.
Yeah, he wants to be someone.
Cool. Yeah.
And I love when earlier we hear that Whistler says, butcher shops just throw away blood. Why? If you had thought about this, you could have eaten, you could have sustained yourself without eating humans. And I like when he's like, you can go 3 rounds with a fruit fly. I love that. So he's like, we need to get you like healthy and everything. Because right now you can't help anybody. You can't even help yourself. Mm-hmm. So he's going to clean him up. And Angel says, okay, as long as I don't have to dress like you. So we're in Sunnydale in 1998, back at the mansion. And Angel goes to grab the sword to remove it. And it fails. He gets kind of thrown back and rejected. Mm-hmm. And Spike sings, someone wasn't worthy.
That part killed me, yeah.
Spike is like, they're having the best day.
Drew's like freaking out. She's supposed to have a little meltdown. She's like, this is so disappointing. And she's like freaking out about it.
Yeah, she was really looking forward to this, the whole world ending.
And then Angel just thinks he must have messed it up somehow.
Yeah, Spike's just having a good day. Watching Angel get rejected. Yeah, he's having one of the best days in a while. And this is so crazy, this scene. In class, Buffy's taking one of her finals.
Oh, yeah.
And we see in the hallway this like shawled, like with a black shawl over her, lady walking down the hallway.
Yep.
Walks into her classroom and then takes a shawl away. And of course, there's natural light coming into the classroom. And it's basically a suicide vampire.
Burns up, yep.
Yeah, and she says a message while she's burning up that more will die, like, what is she? I can't remember exactly what she says.
Tonight, sundown at the graveyard, you will come to him or more will die. And then she gets roasted.
And then that's it. And everybody runs to the back. Of course, everyone's freaking out. And Buffy just sits there like, oh no.
And I'm like, what do I even do with this?
Yeah. So it's not good. In the library, Buffy says she's going alone because she can't take he's like, what if it's a trap and all this? She's like, maybe, but I can't risk, like, if they have someone or something, I have to make sure.
Yeah. Buffy's
really felt the weight of everyone that Angel has killed. So she just can't take another body on top of that. Kendra wants to go with her as well, but she says, no, you need to stay here in case things go badly. Yep. Willow is going to try to do the spell, and she's going to fight Angel and kill him if she has to. But this is a plan B, is the spell.
Kendra gives her lucky steak, Mr. Pointy.
Yes, Mr. Pointy makes his appearance. She gives her Mr. Pointy, who is the only steak that we ever have like named and is like singled out kind of from other steaks. So it's a important little prop. Yep. So she gives her favorite steak. And in the graveyard, Buffy comes and Angel shows up right away. He says he wants to say goodbye.
He says, hello, lover.
Yes,
I wasn't sure you'd come. And she says after your immolationogram?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, I had to show.
Yeah. So, yeah, he says something like, oh, yeah, I want to say goodbye. She's like, this is a wonderful moment we're having. Can we please fight now? Like, I don't want to chit-chat with you. Mm-hmm. And so they kind of fight, and you can kind of tell that he's just kind of buying time. All right, so we're in the library, and Willow starts the spell. She's just going to start it. And then, of course, vampires come through the stacks and attack
Xander
them.
Gets attacked, yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple vampires, so it's just chaos.
Giles tries to help people to run. Kendra starts fighting.
Willow is crushed under a bookshelf.
Yeah.
Cordy eventually runs. She just kind of just stands there, and eventually, Xander tells her to run, so she takes off. Giles is knocked out, and I think, like, Xander is, he's hurt. His arm is hurt or something, but he's okay.
And then,
Yeah, so Kendra's trying to just keep things under control.
She's
fighting all these vampires by herself. Yeah. So we go back to the graveyard, and Angel kind of just tells Buffy that it's a trap, essentially. Yeah. Like, when are you going to learn? You fall for it every time.
This wasn't about you. It's never about you, and you fall for it every single time. Yeah. And then she starts running.
She realizes what is going on. Now, Buffy, this would be a good time to have a license. So you don't have to run across town. I know it's not really up to her. Her mom said no, but, we will see this over and over again where it's like...
Your mom sucks. It's her mom's fault.
You could, get places a lot faster and save more lives if you had a car. So, or you had a license. So Buffy takes off. I said a car would be an asset to a Slayer. So, / license. So in the library, Drew arrives and calls like the vamps off of Kendra, kind of like, she's mine, like step back. Mm-hmm. And she hypnotizes Kendra, similar to the way that we saw the Master hypnotize Buffy a little bit.
Yeah.
down in the church.
I didn't realize Drew
underground.
could do that.
Yeah. And so she hypnotized Kendra, and then she basically uses her nail and like slices Kendra's jugular.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, where is she? Like, is that her natural nails? Are those fake? Because I need the recommendation of where those are from. Like, what is she taking to have her nails so, like...
Is it...
I can't do anything without these break. Maybe, but I'm jealous of her nail health, I gotta say. Because mine couldn't cut like anything in half, like, let alone somebody's jugular without breaking. So, yeah, I'm jealous of Drew's nails. So, yeah, she basically uses her big long nail to cut her throat.
And she says night-night.
Mm-hmm. And Kendra just grasps her neck and like falls to the ground.
Sad. Oh my god.
And they take Giles.
Yep.
Yeah, and Giles is unconscious.
And then Buffy kind of like comes up and she sees the wreckage and she like slows for like a second.
Oh my god, this scene. When Buffy's running through the hallway and it's slow-mo, and then we start having Whistler's voiceover. Like, goosebumps every single time I watch. I watched it today again, and I got goosebumps. I just get goosebumps. That's like an iconic Buffy scene where she's running through there in that blue coat, slow motion, bursts into the library, kind of like takes everything in. Everything's a mess, and then looks down and sees Kendra's body on the ground.
Oh my god, and it's too late.
Mm-hmm. She like feels her. I think I don't know. I feel like she was checking for a pulse, perhaps.
Oh, I thought she was holding her hand.
Either way, it's sad. And Buffy's just like, can't believe this. And the Whistler says, basically he talks about like, you can't, paraphrasing here, like you can't prepare for the big moments in life. It's just going to happen. And it's really about how you handle them.
Yeah, and he says the big moments are going to come. It's what you do after that counts. That's when you find out who you are.
Yeah, and then he says, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
And that, before that, but the cops come into the library and like hold their gun at her. It's like, freeze!
Yeah.
But that's where the episode ends.
That's where it ends! Oh my god! Like, what?
Oh my god!
Oh
that's
my god,
crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
What's going to happen next?
Okay.
Well.
Funness is what's going to happen.
Is it?
Some of it.
Kendra's dead. Everybody's hurt. Giles is taken.
I gotta say, there are some hilarious scenes in the next episode.
Fine.
An alliance for the ages. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, so it ends on that. I don't know. The cops are involved, which is not going to be good for Buffy because she needs
Obviously
to not be arrested. Is what she needs to happen. Like she needs to
stop being at these crime scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So, my favorite line was, of course, Spike's, "It's a big rock. Can't wait to tell my friends. They don't have a rock this big." No. And then my favorite scene was the whole Buffy slow-mo running down the hallway with Whistler's voiceover and her finding Kendra. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have the same favorite scene as you. She's like running and she comes into the library and it's just...
Oh, that scene is
heart-wrenching. It's yeah.
It's tough.
What is your steak rating?
Okay, so my steak rating was 5 out of 5 steaks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a really good episode. I mean, you learn so much. Like, we kind of knew a little bit about Drew's backstory. Actually, we know more than we were even shown, but it was great to see that. I mean, seeing Angel be turned was a big thing. A lot of flashbacks, seeing him cursed, like this was like a lot of stuff we just heard about, but getting to see it in flashbacks was really cool. That last scene, like Kendra dying, like oh my gosh, like
that was a lot.
It was really sad. Very iconic scene with Buffy with the blue coat running through the hallway. The voiceover, very like good scene. Love that. So emotional. Yeah, I love that. Let's see, what else did I love? I didn't write anything down because I ran out of room. So I'm just going off the top of my head. Usually I write little bullet points of what I liked. I like the little breadcrumb of Jenny's disc that was left there and like it got unearthed again. And I liked that. Yeah, so it was just an emotional episode. It was good.
Okay. I gave it a 4.9. I've never given anything a 5 yet, so I don't know. I guess
you're one of those, huh?
I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought a lot of what you said, but also like I liked the plot line, like the whole Akatha thing. I thought that was interesting. Especially the part where they kind of explained it. He was killed by a virtuous knight who pierced the demon's heart before he could draw breath to perform the act. Akatha turned to stone and was buried where neither man nor demon want to look, unless, of course, they're putting up low-rent housing. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite line. That was my favorite line. The low-rent housing thing. Oh, yeah. I forgot to circle, but yeah, that was my favorite line.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So, yeah. I thought that was all good. And then even the line after that, Spike said something like, oh, like what happens when you take the sword out? Like, let me guess. Someone pulls out the sword and wackiness ensues? There's a lot of good lines like that. Just funny little, like, one-liners like that. Yeah, so I just thought that was good. I liked the Kendra return. That was a nice touch. I'm very sad that they killed her off in this episode.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that was a bummer. Yeah. I'm curious to see what happens next, really. I mean, what's good? Like, Willow's hurt. Giles gets taken. Like, what is Buffy gonna do with Angel? Are they gonna be able to save him? Like, what?
Yeah, now Buffy's in custody, apparently.
Oh, yeah, and the police.
So she can't even, like, run off and, like, find Angel again and, like, take care of this. Like, she's got her hands tied. Cuffed, more like. Okay, so your question for next week, the season finale. If Buffy was in a rock band, what instrument would she play?
What?
If Buffy was in a rock band,
sorry, I heard you.
What instrument would she play?
Gosh, let's think about this. Okay. Instruments in bands. Guitars and drums and like piano/keyboard. Or she can not play an instrument and sing. Oh, or there's even like weird instruments like these thingies. Or the shaker thingy.
The tambourine.
Tambourine?
I don't know what those things are called. Okay. I know what you're talking about, but
I don't know what they're called. Obscure. Okay, maybe like a tambourine. Or drums? No.
I will accept one of two answers. There's two answers that I will accept.
Two answers that you'll accept? Okay, great.
Like, if you guess one of the two, you don't have to get, like, then I'll say it, yeah.
Okay, tambourine? Okay, I'm going with tambourine.
Tambourine it is. She's pulling the Davy Jones with a tambourine.
I don't know. I just don't see her playing, like, an actual instrument. It's going to be something, like, non-instrument-y.
Okay. So you just shake and look pretty. Okay. All right, so that wraps up Season 2, Episode 1, Becoming Part 1. Again, you can find us on all major podcast apps and YouTube and Instagram at One Girl in All the World Pod. You can also email us at onegirlpod@gmail.com. So, thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in the new year. So sorry to leave you hanging, but we will not be posting the week of Christmas. So we will talk about a cliffhanger for Buffy. This is a cliffhanger for the podcast because we are taking a week off. Just watch it. Just watch it ahead of time now, and you can catch up. We'll catch up with you. So we'll be back in the new year with Season 2, Episode 22, Becoming Part 2. Slay you real soon.
Bye.
Bye.